Hey guys, Jacob here. It is currently the 4th of January 2022. This is going to be this week's vendor reset.
Hello
At the
there.
front desk vendor this week, they're selling the Anarchist Cookbook. This is the Golden Gear backpack with Perfectly Wicked. If you guys don't have this, or if you're new or just trying to collect all the named items, I would recommend picking this one up. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case you guys want to pick up any of these items here for their stats or roles or even their talents. That's me about it
Thanks
for
for the
the front
business.
desk vendor. Now if you cut over here through the helipad and go right into the clan quarters through these two doors. Shout out Disciples of Doom and Kamikaze Von Doom. And this is the clan quarters.
Hey, Agent.
This week they're selling the Grudge SMG. This is Perfect Vindictive. If you guys don't have this, I'd recommend picking it up, or pick it up just for the critical hit chance if you guys are looking for that. I'm going to scroll through the rest of these items in case you guys want to pick them up, or if they have any high rolls, you can add them to your library, like the max critical hit damage for this SR1A1, which is for marksman rifles. Next is going to be max weapon damage and weapon handling. If you guys need either of those for holsters, you guys can buy two of these and then have them for your library. There's also selling 9.9 skill damage, almost max. So if you guys just want to have that if you need it, especially if you're new. So there are a few rolls here you guys could definitely use for future builds. But other than that, that's about it for the first two vendors at the base of ops. Usually I make a cut here, but due to how fast the Xbox Series X is, pretty much no cut is necessary because literally I'm right here in the theater settlement. And this week they're selling the Celebre shotgun, the C870 with perfect jazz hands, which is 30% reload speed. It does have critical hit damage if you guys need that, if you're trying to find, pretty close to max, or if you're trying to find the shotgun in general, I would recommend picking this one up. And overall, the stats are pretty low, but if you're just trying to collect them and get all of them, then you guys can do so. But other than that, that's all they're really selling this week at the theater settlement. Next up is going to be the campus settlement, which, keep this in mind, it is under a blockade right now, but due to one of the updates a while back, they did fix the issue where you can actually still go buy stuff. Before, when the blockade was up, you actually had to clear the blockade to be able to buy stuff from the vendor, which to me is kind of stupid. But now you don't have to do that, as you guys can see right here when I run past the little picnic area and go to the vendor who's sitting right here, and she is open. This week she's selling the new Reliable. The stats on this are pretty low, but if you guys need this, I would recommend grabbing it if you're trying to collect all the named items. Next is going to be max headshot damage for marksman rifles if you guys need that. But overall, that's pretty much all they're selling at the campus settlement. Next up is going to be the Dark Zones. We're going to be starting at DZ West first. This is the first DZ that I usually start at. Keep this in mind, you guys will need resources to buy any items at the DZs, which you can get by deconstructing gear and extracting, or opening tiny boxes scattered around the DZ that will give you one resource per box. And also though, keep this in mind too, that those DZ boxes can be scavenged by other players, so you may go in here and they might be all gone. This week they're selling the Baker's Dozen. This is a pretty decent rifle, especially if you're new and trying to get your hands on one, and that way you can optimize this to your liking, or farm for a better one if you want. But if you have some resources and you've been trying to get this, I know some of the newer players have been trying to get this like crazy, then you guys can buy it if you have the currency. But keep this in mind, the rifle damage is pretty average. Same goes for the critical hit damage, and you can max out the damage targets of cover to max, and then after that you can just optimize this if you want to. But also, these are DZ resources, or DZ credits, whatever you want to call them, so you can't just, say you have 200 and that's all you have. Make sure you're buying something you really, really want, because they are a bit of a pain in the ass to get your hands on unless you're religiously farming in the DZ, deconstructing gear, and extracting them, pack after pack. Then if you deconstruct 20 items, then boom, there's 20. But say someone kills you and takes them, then they're pretty much gone and you're shit out of luck. This is going to be DZ South.
Check out the best selection in
This week she is selling the China Light Industries Strategic Alignment. This is Perfect Shock and Awe. So if you guys need this, I would recommend grabbing it. At the same time, you can farm loot allocation areas to find a better one. I'm going to scroll through the rest of these items in case you guys want to pick any of this stuff up. They are selling Max Hazard for backpacks if you guys need that. But that's going to be about it for DC South. And the final DZ on the list currently, unless they add more in the future, as of 2022, maybe later this year we'll get a new DZ or something, or maybe new vendors in a brand new area. So this is DZ East, which is the final location for DC. And the next stop will be Haven in New York City. And there's only 2 vendors there. I'm not sure why they never added more into some of the safe houses. But this is the last stop for the Dark Zones.
You know you want to, so come on.
This week, there's some of the Commando. If you guys need that, I would recommend picking up. Stats on it are pretty low. And she does sell this pretty often, so you guys can probably find this if you really want to just farm for it. She is selling an SVD that's besides the Commando that has magazine size if you guys need that for your stat library. But other than that, that's really going to be about it for the DZs.
Hostiles guarding
Next up,
location
like I
nearby.
said, is going to be the New York City expansion, which is going to be in the city Haven, or the settlement Haven, I guess you could call it. It's not really much of a city, but there are 2 vendors here. That's going to be the front desk vendor.